Mr. Mack, was that you?
That was me.
All right.
It was Mac. Next question here is from Robert Riggs. He says he's attending his first Burns night next month and would love to dress formal. Money is tight, so I'm looking at a semi-traditional kilt. Would a Prince Charlie look okay, or would that be a bit much? How formal could one go with a semi-traditional?
That cookie makes a lot more noise than I thought it was going to. I apologize about that. I just couldn't get my hands off the freaking cookies. So we're talking about Prince Charlie for a Burns night.
For Burns night, semi-traditional kilt, are they compatible? Was the main thrust of the question.
Sure. So I would start by saying this. If you're going to a Burns night, oftentimes Burns nights are not really that formal. Most Burns nights that I've either been invited to or attended or heard about or seen tend to be more semi-formal, smart day wear kind of environment than formal. So first thing I would say is check with the host. Double check on the formality of the event. If it doesn't state so on the invitation, I would ask, is this formal or is this semi-formal, or is it day wear? Will a Prince Charlie be too much? Or just ask the host, hey, what are you wearing? Or ask other guests, if you know somebody else is going, what are you wearing? Kind of compare notes to see how other people are going to be dressed at the things, so you're not overdressed or underdressed for the event. That said, can he wear, if it was, we'll say it's formal.
Yep, and black ties specifically.
Black tie specifically because he said Prince Charlie. So in that instance, can he wear a semi-traditional kilt? Semi-traditional is our model. It's polyviscose fabric, but it's made to look from outward appearances more like a traditional kilt. I would say, yeah, that would be fine. I wouldn't do a casual kilt or something with wider pleats. I wouldn't do an acrylic kilt or something with a real bold color that you can tell isn't wool, but it's something that feels more like a traditional kilt, air quotes. I think would work fine for it.
Yeah.
Ian.
I would agree with that. Because the semi-traditional kilt has a lot of the trappings of a traditional kilt, your fringe, your narrower pleats relative to a casual kilt or many acrylic kilts, buckles and straps, that you do have the leverage. That I think the PC jacket looks okay as long as everything fits well and looks sharp. But yeah, I'm leery of whether or not PC is appropriate for the event. If you're going to go to this event in pants, would you wear a tuxedo? If the answer is yes, then a PC is appropriate. If it's more like, no, I'd probably wear a nice suit, then probably think about the Argyle jacket or maybe even the tweed, depending on, what the level of formality of the event is.
Yeah, it's for the most part, Argyle kind of splits the difference. I'm beginning to go to my tweeds just more often than Argyles even though, and just kind of that, it just feels more natural and good for a broader range of events than an Argyle. It feels black. It feels a little bit too dressy sometimes, but it's not a PC, so it's not quite dressy enough. I don't know. I tend to gravitate towards the tweeds.
Yeah, I do too. I host a Burns night at my house for friends that are mostly not Scottish, and it's just a fun excuse to get together. I wear a kilt, but this is as dressed up as I've ever gotten for this event, and I'm overdressed compared to everybody else. But, it's just at our house. It's nothing too formal.
I noticed I was never invited.
No, and most of the people who come don't even own kilts at all. There's one other guy who I made a kilt for him, and he wears it, and I think it's the only time of the year he wears it.
So what you're saying is I can set up a booth. There's fresh customer base there.
Yeah, so
set up a booth right in your living room.
You could potentially sell all of 3 or 4 kilts.
Sweet. Yes. Making that bank. All right, Mr. Mack. So here's the question I have for you. Have you ever been to a Burns supper? If you have, what did you wear? Help the other people who are watching this video figure out what they're going to wear by telling them what you wore. Get down in the comments and explain what your outfit looked like and how formal it was.